Okay, imagine this. You're right in the middle of a really lively conversation, right? English words are flying, ideas are sparking. And then it hits you that familiar internal scramble.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain starts doing these mental acrobatics, translating from your native language, desperately searching for the perfect English words.
Yeah, trying to get the grammar just right.
Exactly. Constructing that sentence. And by the time you've got it all lined up, perfectly translated in your head,
The moment's
the
pass.
conversation has moved on,
Yeah.
and you feel just a little bit behind, maybe a bit disconnected. It's exhausting. It really is. It's like running a race with weights strapped to your legs. It's slow, it's tiring, and just, well, incredibly inefficient.
Yeah.
That sound familiar? That feeling of your brain just struggling to keep up, like it's constantly playing catch up.
I think most language learners have felt that intensely.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating and I think truly game-changing solution to this really common hurdle. We're talking about learning to think directly in English, bypassing that clunky, energy-draining, and let's face it, limiting translation step entirely.
Freeing your mind.
Yeah, freeing your mind to simply be in English.
And, the impact of really mastering this skill, this ability to think directly in English,
Yeah,
it's actually far more profound than just speaking a few seconds faster.
right. It's not just about speed.
Not at all. It's about unlocking a level of fluency and natural communication that really fundamentally transforms how you interact. Think about it. Global opportunities suddenly become more accessible.
Sure.
Networking feels seamless, not like a chore. And forging deeper, more authentic cultural connections, that becomes almost effortless.
That makes sense.
This isn't just like a language hack, it's a cognitive shift. It can really redefine how you engage with the world. What we're offering you here is kind of a shortcut to being incredibly well-informed about a critical skill, a skill that can truly transform your whole language journey.
And we've got a stack of incredible insights guiding our deep dive today. They're primarily drawn from Du Dui Ting An, Bi Kuo Jiao Ti Luluat, which translates roughly to Thinking in English, the Secret to Fluent Communication.
A great title.
It really is. And this isn't just a collection of anecdotes or someone's personal tips. It's a comprehensive guide, and it's grounded deeply in fields like linguistics, cognitive psychology,
All right.
and really practical, actionable strategies.
Yeah.
So this isn't just theory floating around. It's like a detailed blueprint, a real roadmap for actually rewiring your brain.
Absolutely. And what's truly compelling about this source material, I think, is how robustly it's backed by decades of scientific research.
Yeah.
It synthesizes insights from really influential figures, people like Stephen Krashen and Meryl Swain. Their work provides the very foundation for understanding how we acquire language in the first place. So when you adopt this direct thinking approach, you're not just trying some new method you read online. You're leveraging established principles that clearly support a dramatic acceleration of fluency. Our mission today, for you, our listener, is to help you understand not just what this transformation involves,
Okay.
but the profound why behind it, the scientific underpinnings, and most importantly, the tangible how.
The practical steps.
Exactly. So you can immediately apply it to your own language journey and, really feel the difference.
Okay, let's start by really digging into the heart of the problem we just talked about, this frustrating translation trap. We've all been there, right? That moment when someone asks us a simple question like, what did you do today?
Yeah.
And instead of just, effortlessly responding, I went to the park, you find your brain scrambling.
That internal calculation.
It's this multi-step internal process. First, you think it in your native language, maybe Toi di Kong Vien or something similar.
Right.
Then you have to actively search your mental database for the English equivalent. I went to the park. You're thinking about grammar, word order.
Is it go or went?
Yeah, exactly. And finally, you formulate the sentence before you can even open your mouth.
And by
the time you're ready, you've missed a beat. That split-second delay feels like an eternity, doesn't it?
it does.
It leaves you feeling disconnected. And let's be honest, it often really undermines your confidence.
That's precisely it. And it's so much more than just a minor inconvenience. It's a significant cognitive bottleneck.
Okay, cognitive bottleneck. Explain that.
Think of it like this. When you're constantly converting back and forth between languages, you're not truly processing information in English.
Ah.
Instead, you're basically operating as this incredibly inefficient human translator, a kind of linguistic middleman.
Okay.
And this creates an enormous, unnecessary cognitive load on your brain.
Cognitive load, like
But
mental effort.
exactly. Your mind is expending precious mental energy and processing power just on the mechanics of translation, instead of on higher-level functions, like truly understanding nuances, or formulating spontaneous thoughts, or even just engaging deeply with the person you're actually talking to. And what's truly fascinating here, and I think often overlooked, is how this constant mental strain severely limits your capacity for genuine, spontaneous expression.
How so?
Well, it transforms what should be a natural flowing exchange into this laborious chore.
Right.
It's why you might find yourself simplifying your thoughts, or maybe even worse, avoiding certain topics entirely,
Oh, yeah.
simply because the mental effort of translating complex or abstract ideas just feels overwhelming.
So you stick to the easy stuff.
Exactly. You're not just slower, you're actually restricting the depth and richness of your true communicative potential in English. You're holding yourself back.
Wow. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting because this isn't just a feel-good idea, or just common advice.
Mm,
There's incredibly solid science behind training your brain to think directly in English. It's not magic.
not at all.
It's a perfectly trainable skill, and it's based on the very principles of how our brains learn and adapt. It's about leveraging your brain's amazing natural capacity.
Precisely. And let's break down some of those foundational theories, because understanding the why behind this approach gives you, the learner, immense motivation.
Okay, let's do it.
First, we can look at Krashen's input hypothesis. This was back in 1982.
Okay.
Krashen argued that language acquisition happens primarily through comprehensible input, basically consistently understanding messages, whether you're listening or reading.
Makes sense. Input.
Then, Swain's output hypothesis came along in 1985 and added a crucial element: output.
Okay, so speaking or writing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Swain suggested that actively producing language, even if it's imperfect, forces learners to notice gaps in their knowledge and help solidify what they've learned.
Oh, okay, so input and output.
Right. And thinking directly in English inherently optimizes both of these. You're internalizing input more directly without that translation filter messing things up.
Got it.
And your internal output, your self-talk, your inner voice, is constantly reinforcing your understanding of production. It gives this low-stakes practice ground inside your head.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What else?
Well, beyond that, contemporary neuroscience offers a truly empowering perspective, particularly research by people like Patricia Kuhl around 2004.
Okay.
The key takeaway is the adult brain isn't static. It possesses remarkable plasticity.
Brain plasticity. Right. It can change.
Exactly. It means your brain can indeed rewire neural pathways, specifically for a new language. Every single time you consciously choose to think in English, you are literally strengthening those English-specific neural connections.
Wow. So you're building pathways.
You're paving a new direct highway in your brain, making that English pathway more efficient and less reliant on those, cumbersome detours through your native tongue.
That's powerful.
It really is. This scientific reality gives you, the learner, a powerful sense of agency. Your brain can change, and you are an active architect in that change.
I like that. Architect of your brain.
Then there's also the automaticity theory, proposed by Segalwitz in 2003.
Automaticity, like things becoming automatic.
Precisely. This theory elegantly explains how frequent exposure and repetition gradually reduce the conscious effort required to process language. Think about learning to drive a car.
Okay.
Initially, every action, steering, changing gears, checking mirrors, requires intense, conscious effort, right? Your brain is fully engaged in the mechanics.
We're really overwhelmed.
But with practice, it becomes automatic. It becomes second nature. The gear shifts happen seamlessly. Your eyes scan naturally.
You don't even think about it.
Right. The same applies to language. When thinking in English becomes automatic, it frees up your conscious mind to focus on the message, the nuances of meaning, the emotional subtext, the creativity of your expression.
Not the mechanics.
Exactly, not the mechanics of word retrieval or grammar. Your mental CPU isn't bogged down by those basic processes anymore.
Okay. Freeing up mental space.
Which leads us directly back to Sweller's cognitive load theory from 1988.
Right, the cognitive load we mentioned earlier.
If you imagine your brain as a high-performance computer, that translation trap is like having tons of unnecessary background programs running all the time.
Okay, slowing everything down.
Exactly. They consume valuable processing power, making everything else run slower and less efficiently. By eliminating the translation step, effectively shutting down that background program, you free up vital cognitive resources.
And that's your brain.
run faster and smoother. It can dedicate its power to genuine comprehension, spontaneous expression, even more complex thought. It's why, when you're truly fluent, you can not only understand a joke,
Yeah.
but appreciate the layers of irony or maybe articulate a nuanced philosophical point without stumbling over the words. Your brain has the capacity.
Wow. Okay, so understanding the science, it's not just academic.
Not at all.
It-
It provides powerful motivation. It confirms that thinking in English isn't some magical trick or an unattainable goal. It is a perfectly trainable skill, deeply rooted in the very principles of how our brains learn, adapt, and build new neural networks. It's really a testament to the brain's incredible capacity for linguistic transformation.
So what does all this science and theory mean for you, the listener, sitting there right now? What are the real-world payoffs?
It means tangible, genuinely life-changing benefits in how you interact with English. We're not talking about a slight improvement here.
No.
No, it's a holistic leap in your language proficiency that truly transforms your communicative abilities.
Okay, let's break down those benefits. What's the first one?
First, and perhaps the most immediately obvious one, is dramatically faster speaking.
Makes sense. No translation delay.
Exactly. This is the direct payoff of eliminating that cumbersome multi-step translation process. Your brain no longer has to go through, okay, native thought for hunger. Now, English word, hungry. Okay, build sentence.
Right.
Instead, it just becomes a direct pathway. Thinking, I'm hungry, in English speaking, I'm hungry. Simple.
That speed matters in conversation.
Absolutely crucial. That real-time advantage is key in dynamic conversations. Even a slight pause, that half-second delay, can break the flow, make you miss your turn, or lose the thread of a rapid-fire exchange.
Yeah, you feel like you're always catching up.
When you think directly, you become an active, seamless participant, not just a reactive decoder trying to keep pace.
Okay, faster speaking. That's next.
Secondly, and this one is truly massive, you experience a significant increase in confidence.
Ah, confidence. That's huge for language learners.
It's everything. Research on language anxiety, like Horowitz's work back in '86, consistently shows that when words flow naturally and you don't feel constantly bogged down by that internal translation, that crippling self-consciousness, that fear of making mistakes, it dramatically diminishes. You feel genuinely in control of the language.
And that feeling must encourage you to speak more.
Exactly. It's not just about feeling good.
Yeah.
It creates this powerful positive feedback loop. The more natural and confident you feel, the more you'll actually want to speak, to engage, to practice. And that increased speaking practice, in turn, naturally leads to even greater fluency. It's this self-propelling cycle that just turbocharges your learning.
Love that. Okay, benefit 3.
Third, you'll notice a marked improvement in listening comprehension.
Oh, interesting. How does thinking in English help listening?
Well, when your brain isn't bogged down trying to decode what you're hearing through the filter of your native language, it can dedicate its full resources to directly processing the English sounds and meanings as they come in.
So it's not doing double duty.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And this is incredibly powerful for real-world interactions. It enhances your comprehension in those fast-paced, unscripted conversations.
Yeah.
It allows you to genuinely enjoy movies without constantly relying on subtitles. It enables you to follow complex lectures or presentations much more easily. You start catching nuances, subtle intonations, idiomatic expressions, even the emotional subtext.
Things you'd miss if you were translating.
Exactly. Things you previously missed because your cognitive resources were just tied up in that constant, exhausting translation effort. You truly start to understand the deeper meaning, the stuff between the words.
Okay, that's a big one. Listening. Now, you mentioned pronunciation earlier.
Yes, this one often surprises people, but it makes so much sense when you think about it. Better pronunciation is another key benefit.
How does thinking connect to how you sound?
It's intrinsically linked to the concept of mental rehearsal. There's research by folks like Celsi Murcia supporting this.
Mental rehearsal.
Yeah. If you consistently hear words correctly in your mind, in English, actively imagining the correct intonation, the rhythm, the individual sounds,
Okay.
your mouth and your vocal apparatus are then much more likely to produce them accurately when you actually speak.
Ah, so your brain is sending clearer instructions.
Kind of. It's like your brain is creating a precise auditory blueprint, an internal sound check, before you even utter a sound. You're forming clearer neurological connections between the sound you want to make and the physical act of making it.
Fascinating. Okay, and what's the last big benefit you wanted to highlight?
This might be my favorite because it's where your unique personality truly shines through. Natural expression.
Ah, sounding like yourself, not a textbook.
Exactly. No more awkward, literal, translations.
Like the classic, I have cold instead of I'm cold.
Precisely that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you think directly in English, you begin to internalize natural phrasing, idiomatic expressions, common collocations, those word pairings that just sound right to a native speaker.
Right.
You avoid those literal word-for-word translations from your native language that often make you sound stiff, unnatural, or maybe even unintentionally comical.
Yeah, you want to avoid sounding like a robot translator.
Right. Your communication becomes genuinely idiomatic, culturally appropriate, and authentically you. It's the difference between, say, painting by numbers and painting with a full palette of colors, expressing yourself fully.
Love that analogy. So these benefits, speed, confidence, listening, pronunciation, naturalness, they all work together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They aren't isolated benefits. What's truly fascinating is that they build synergistically on each other. They create this powerful reinforcing cycle.
How so?
Well, faster speaking boosts your confidence,
Okay.
which then encourages more active listening and more practice,
Right.
which naturally refines your pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
And that, in turn, makes your expression more natural and authentic. It's this virtuous circle of language acquisition where each improvement just fuels the next one.
That's incredibly encouraging. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but how do people actually do it?
Right. The theory is great, but practice is key.
And this isn't just abstract theory we're talking about. Our sources provide a really practical, actionable 30-day plan.
Yes, a concrete blueprint.
And don't worry, it's designed to be manageable, even if you're busy. We're talking a dedicated, focused effort of just, 60 to 90 minutes daily.
That's the target range, yes.
Yeah.
Consistency over sheer volume initially.
It's truly a blueprint for transformation.
And that consistent daily commitment is absolutely crucial. The science of habit formation, there's compelling research by Lally and her colleagues from 2009.
Yeah.
It rigorously demonstrates that consistent practice, particularly for a sustained period of, say, 21 to 30 days, can profoundly establish lasting behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally rewires your brain.
So that 30-day time frame is important.
It's crucial. It gives your brain the time it needs to solidify those new neural pathways we talked about, making English thinking an ingrained habit, a default mode.
So you're not just doing exercise.
No, you're actively creating a new cognitive default setting in your head.
What's powerful about this plan, too, is that it's not just a random collection of tips.
Not at all. It's actionable and meticulously structured.
Takes the guesswork out.
Completely. It removes all the guesswork, providing you with a clear step-by-step path to achieving genuine fluency and direct English thinking. You know exactly what to do each day.
And that clarity itself must be motivating.
Immensely.
Yeah.
It reduces that mental friction of, okay, what should I work on today? You
Yeah.
just follow the plan.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty then. The 10 daily habits. These are the tools, right? The essential toolkit for transformation.
These are the levers you'll pull to rewire your brain.
We're going to dive deep into each one. We'll explain the science behind why they work, give practical how-to advice, and then maybe some advanced tips to supercharge progress.
Sounds good.
Okay, habit number 1. Name objects around you in English. Seems almost deceptively simple, doesn't it?
Simple, yes, but incredibly effective in building those foundational neural connections.
Why does just naming things work so well?
The science behind it connects directly to something called Pivio's dual coding theory from way back in 1986.
Dual coding. Yeah.
The theory suggests that when you pair words with visuals, like literally seeing an object, say a lamp, and consciously thinking or saying its English name lamp, you create two distinct yet interconnected mental representations. A verbal code, the word, and an image code, the visual.
Ah, 2 links instead of 1.
Exactly. This dual encoding significantly enhances memory and recall. You're bypassing your native language entirely and forming direct neural links between the concept, the actual lamp, and its English word.
Okay.
Plus, there's research by Nation from 2001 on contextual learning. It highlights how strongly linking words to real-life, immediate objects strengthens retention. It makes the vocabulary tangible, concrete, immediately usable.
So practically, how do you do this effectively?
Dedicate just 10 minutes daily. Start simple. Pick a familiar environment like your kitchen or bedroom.
Okay.
Begin with single words. Bed, lamp, window. But don't just say the word. Actively engage your senses.
What do you mean?
Well, touch the object if you can.
Yeah.
Notice its color, its texture, its purpose. Then connect those sensory inputs directly to the English word bed or lamp. This multimodal input strengthens those neural pathways much faster than just repeating a word list.
Got it. Then what?
Once you're comfortable with single words, progress to simple phrases. The bed is soft. The lamp is bright. And use a good learner's dictionary, like the Cambridge Learner's Dictionary, to check pronunciation cues like knowing bed is bead.
Right.
And crucially, don't limit yourself to just one room. Practice in diverse settings, your home, your workplace, even public spaces like a park or a grocery store. Build that versatility. Solidify that mental dictionary across different contexts.
Okay, and you mentioned an advanced tip for this.
Yes. To take this a step further, try creating a mental map of an entire environment in English.
Yeah, mental me.
Yeah. Imagine your living room, for example. Can you mentally label every single item, its purpose, maybe a simple descriptor, all in English? Like, the fridge is cold, the stove is hot, I'm making tea.
Connecting things together.
Exactly. This active recall within a specific detailed context truly solidifies those conceptual links. It makes the words much more readily available in your mind when you need them spontaneously. It turns your environment into this living English textbook.
So, to give you a concrete scenario, right now, in your living room, you could consciously think or even say aloud, "This is a sofa. It's comfortable." And later, as you walk by, expand that thought. "I sit on the sofa to read my book every evening." You're building habits of association, not just labeling.
Precisely. It's about integrating it.
Okay, habit number 2. Talk to yourself in English. Now, this might sound a bit quirky, maybe even a little silly to some people.
Duckles. It might feel strange at first, yeah.
But believe me, it's incredibly powerful and surprisingly effective.
It truly is a game changer. The science behind it is rooted deeply in Swain's output hypothesis, which we touched on earlier.
Right, the output part.
Actively producing language,
Yeah.
even when you're completely alone, forces your brain to engage in complex cognitive processes. You're retrieving vocabulary, constructing grammatical structures, organizing your thoughts in real time.
Practicing the whole system.
Exactly. It strengthens your linguistic knowledge and builds that automaticity we talked about. And crucially, it's a completely low-pressure practice zone.
Right, no one's judging you.
You can experiment, make mistakes without any embarrassment, and build confidence in your ability to articulate thoughts in English. You're essentially creating your own private, non-judgmental conversation partner, preparing yourself for real-world interactions.
Okay, so practically, how does this work? Just narrate your life.
Pretty much. Set aside maybe 10 to 15 minutes daily. Simply describe your actions or surroundings aloud in English. So while you're cooking, you might narrate, "Okay, I'm cutting vegetables now. The knife is sharp. I need to wash the carrots next."
Okay.
Or while you're getting ready for bed, right, brushing my teeth, "Gosh, I'm tired. Maybe I'll read a book before sleep."
Start with simple sentences. And remember, especially at the beginning, prioritize just getting the words out fluency over absolute grammatical perfection. The goal is to build momentum.
And doing it in private helps.
Definitely. Practicing in private settings, like your home or maybe during a solo walk, naturally builds that confidence before you step into real conversations. Now, my absolute favorite part of this one is the advanced tip. It makes it more engaging.
I agree. For the advanced tip, really leverage technology. Use a smartphone app, like voice memos or something similar, to record your self-talk.
Why record it?
Because listening back allows you to pinpoint errors objectively. For example, you might hear yourself say, "I cook soup," when it should be, "I'm cooking soup," or "I'm very happy," instead of "I'm very happy."
Ellis, back in 2009, really highlighted how this active error correction, through self-monitoring, significantly enhances accuracy and retention.
Okay. Become your own teacher.
Exactly. And for an added element of fun and engagement, try imagining you're hosting a little YouTube vlog of your day.
Chuckles. Okay.
Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm making pasta, and let me tell you about my busy morning. This narrative framework makes it feel less like a drill and more like authentic communication.
So, just to give a scenario, while you're getting dressed, just say aloud, "Okay, I'm wearing a blue shirt today. It's new. I think about it last week."
And then, if you're recording, listen back and check if words like wearing or bought sound and are pronounced correctly. It's subtle, but really effective for fine-tuning.
Absolutely. Small adjustments add up.
Okay, moving on to habit number 3. Use an English-to-English dictionary. This sounds like it directly tackles the translation habit.
It does, quite directly. This habit is powerful because it forces your brain to operate and process English within English.
Right, keeping it all in one language.
Exactly, rather than constantly creating that wasteful detour back to your native language. Laufer's research back in 1997 specifically showed that this method significantly reduces translation dependency, the very bottleneck we're trying to eliminate. It enhances both your vocabulary retention and, crucially, your contextual understanding of words.
How does it help context?
Because you're seeing how words are defined and used solely through the lens of English. You're building direct English-to-English associations, understanding the nuances from within the language itself.
Okay, so practically, how do you integrate this? Just look up every word.
No, be strategic. Dedicate a focused 5 to 10 minutes daily. Choose just 2 or 3 new words to learn. Don't overwhelm yourself.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. Use a reliable online resource like the Oxford Learner's Dictionary or the Cambridge Dictionary. They're specifically designed for learners. So, for example, if you look up the word excited, don't just read the definition. Actively internalize it. Okay, feeling very happy and enthusiastic. Then challenge yourself to create a unique sentence using that word, something personal to you, like, I'm excited about my upcoming trip this weekend.
Make it relevant.
Yes, and make sure to say the word and its definition aloud. This reinforces both pronunciation and memory through auditory feedback.
Okay, and the advanced tip here.
Don't just stop at one sentence. After reading the dictionary's example sentences, challenge yourself to create 3 variations of your own sentences using the new word. Explore different contexts or grammatical structures.
Ah, okay. Play with the word.
Exactly. So for excited, you could try. She's excited about the party, I'm genuinely excited to learn English, and the kids are excited for the school holidays. This active manipulation of the word in different contexts aligns perfectly with Schmidt's noticing hypothesis from 1990.
Noticing hypothesis.
It emphasizes that conscious attention to new forms and their varied usage is absolutely key to deep acquisition and flexible application. You're building a rich semantic network around the word, not just a single word definition pair.
So, a tangible example. If you look up tired, first say aloud, I'm tired after work.
Right.
Then consciously practice variations like, he looks tired today, or wow, that long journey made me feel really tired. Notice how the nuance changes.
Precisely. You internalize its usage patterns.
Okay, habit number 4. Think in simple English sentences. This might seem counterintuitive if you're aiming for advanced fluency, right? Why start simple?
It seems basic, but it's foundational. This habit directly addresses cognitive load theory, again by Sweller, which is so central here.
Okay, reducing the load.
Exactly. The science is simple, but powerful. By deliberately starting with simple, straightforward sentence structures, you significantly reduce the mental overload on your brain. This allows your brain to dedicate its energy to building fluency and confidence in the direct processing of English.
Right.
Rather than getting bogged down by complex grammatical structures or a huge vocabulary it's not yet ready for. It's like learning to walk before you try to sprint. You're laying a solid, stable foundation.
Okay, so how do you do this practically?
For about 10 dedicated minutes daily, make it a point to narrate your day, your thoughts, or your surroundings using only simple, straightforward English sentences. So instead of internally monologuing, I'm experiencing profound hunger and therefore require immediate nourishment.
Struggles. Right.
Simply think, I'm hungry, I want food.
Right.
Or the sky is blue. I am walking to the store, that car is red.
Keep it basic.
Yes. Practice this during routine, mundane activities like walking, eating, even cleaning. The goal is to make the act of thinking in English effortless and automatic, even if the thoughts themselves are very simple initially.
Got it. And the advanced tip builds on this simplicity.
Exactly. This is where you build strength and flexibility. Use what we call a sentence expansion technique.
Sentence expansion.
Start with a very basic, simple thought, I'm tired. Then gradually and consciously expand it, adding more detail. I'm tired because I worked late.
Okay.
And then push it a little further, adding maybe a consequence or further explanation. I'm tired because I worked late, so I really need some rest tonight.
Building complexity step by step.
Precisely. This scaffolding approach, which is really well supported by Vygotsky's zone of proximal development idea.
Right, stretching just beyond your current level.
It gradually builds your fluency and allows you to increase sentence complexity in a manageable, organic way.
Yeah.
You're incrementally stretching your linguistic comfort zone without causing overload.
So, as a practical scenario, while planning your day, you might internally think, I have a meeting. It's at 10 a.m.
Simple start.
Then deliberately expand it. Okay, I have that meeting at 10 a.m., so I need to leave soon and probably grab coffee on the way. See how that naturally flows and builds.
Perfect example. It becomes a natural progression.
Okay, habit number 5. Develop an English inner voice. This sounds like taking the simple sentences and making it constant. making English your brain's default operating system.
That's a great way to put it. This habit is incredibly powerful because it trains your brain to make English its default thinking mode. It aims to effectively replace that persistent native language internal monologue.
How does that work neurologically?
The science behind it, particularly supported by neurolinguistic research from people like Paradise in 2004, confirms that consistent mental rehearsal in a new language profoundly strengthens the neural pathways specifically for that language. You're literally rewiring your internal dialogue, making English the spontaneous language of your everyday thoughts. It's about changing your brain's baseline setting.
So, practically, how do you cultivate this inner voice?
Dedicate a focused 10 to 15 minutes daily. Consciously narrate your thoughts, your observations, your plans entirely in English, almost like a running commentary in your mind.
What kind of thoughts?
Start with simple questions and answers. Okay, what should I do today? Maybe I'll read that book. What's for dinner tonight? A great time to practice is during your daily commute or while doing chores. Wow, the bus is really full this morning. I see lots of people reading. I need to remember to buy groceries later.
And the key is?
The absolute key here is to consciously avoid translating from your native language. Just let the English thoughts form directly, even if they feel a bit clunky or basic at first. The goal is direct thought formation, bypassing translation entirely.
Okay. And the advanced tip here, you said let your imagination run wild.
Exactly. Make it fun. Instead of just simple observations, try turning your inner voice into a kind of storytelling exercise.
Storytelling.
About what? Craft a mini narrative about your day or something you observed. You could think, today, our hero, that's me, faces a busy day. First, they must conquer a challenging meeting, and then they shall reward themselves with a delicious coffee.
Chuckles. Okay. Be the hero of your own story.
Why not? This narrative approach, supported by research like McDrory and Alterio's work on narrative learning, not only enhances creativity, but also significantly boosts fluency. You're connecting ideas, building cohesive thoughts, using a wider range of vocabulary and structures naturally. You're becoming your own internal novelist.
So a scenario, while shopping, you might internally think, okay, I need milk. It's in the fridge section.
Basic start.
And then immediately expand. Right, I need milk for my coffee tomorrow morning. It's probably in the fridge section, right next to the eggs and the yogurt. We're building that natural descriptive flow.
Exactly. Connecting thoughts seamlessly in English.
Okay, habit number 6. Immerse yourself in English media. This is about surrounding yourself with the language, right? Making it inescapable in a good way.
Precisely. The science behind this is straightforward, but incredibly powerful. Extensive media exposure profoundly improves both listening comprehension and cultural understanding.
How?
By providing you with authentic, natural English in real-world contexts. Vanderplank's research from 2010 clearly demonstrates that this kind of broad, consistent exposure significantly enhances comprehension and, consequently, your overall fluency. You're not just passively listening. You're training your ear and your brain to the natural rhythm, the intonation, the slang, the cultural nuances of the language. It makes it feel much more intuitive over time.
Okay, so practically, how much and what kind of media?
Commit a focused 20 to 30 minutes daily. This could be watching popular shows, think Friends or The Office, things with natural dialogue, listening to engaging podcasts like The English We Speak from the BBC or others you find interesting, or reading articles from reputable sources like BBC News or the New York Times.
And the crucial part.
The absolutely crucial part here is to avoid subtitles whenever humanly possible, especially subtitles in your native language.
Why no subtitles? They seem helpful.
They seem helpful, but they often act as a crutch. They allow your brain to bypass the hard work of directly processing the English sounds and meanings. You end up reading instead of listening. Turning them off forces direct processing.
Okay, tough love for the brain.
Exactly. And always choose content you genuinely enjoy. Sustained motivation is absolutely key to consistency with immersion. If it feels like a chore, you won't stick with it.
Makes sense. Now, the advanced tip here was a challenge.
Yes. Time for a real challenge. Once you're comfortable with daily immersion, push yourself further. Try creating an English-only day once a week.
An entire day, wow.
For that whole day, commit that all your media consumption will be in English. Watch your favorite TV shows in English. Listen only to English music artists like Ed Sheeran are great for clear lyrics. Or explore genres you enjoy. Browse English language communities online like Reddit's English Learning or subreddits related to your hobbies.
That sounds intense.
It is, but this highly immersive approach closely mimics the profound benefits of actually studying abroad. Fried observed this back in 1995. It provides a concentrated, compelling language environment right from your own home.
So, a concrete example. You could watch a 15-minute clip from Friends.
Okay.
Actively identify and maybe even repeat colloquial phrases like, how you doing? Or could I be anymore?
Mm-hmm.
And then consciously try to integrate them into your own self-talk later, or maybe in a conversation with a language partner. Makes the language feel much more alive and natural.
Exactly. You're bridging the gap between passive consumption and active use.
Okay, habit number 7. Practice minimal pairs for pronunciation. This sounds very specific. Why minimal pairs?
It's small but mighty. The science is clear. Accurate pronunciation is fundamental for intelligibility, making sure others can understand you clearly and effortlessly. Celsi Murcia emphasized this strongly.
Okay.
Minimal pairs, those pairs of words that differ by only one single sound, like ship nepo versus sheeps or light late versus right red.
Those tricky sounds.
Exactly. They are specifically designed to help you distinguish and accurately produce similar sounds that can cause significant confusion, especially if those sounds don't exist in your native language. It trains both your ear and your mouth to be precise.
So how do you practice these?
Dedicate just 5 to 10 minutes daily. Focus specifically on pairs that are known challenges for speakers of your native language. You can find lists easily online or use resources like Rachel's English on YouTube or pronunciation guides in good dictionaries.
And you just say them over and over.
Say them aloud, yes, but deliberately focus on the distinct mouth positions, the tongue placement, the airflow, the physical differences in how you produce the sounds. Say see, like she. Feel the difference. Don't be afraid to exaggerate them initially. You're building muscle memory and acoustic discrimination.
Okay. And the advanced tip involves technology.
Yes, you simply must leverage technology for this. It provides invaluable instant feedback. Record yourself saying these minimal pairs. Then immediately compare your recording with native speaker audio. Use pronunciation apps like eLSA Speak, or even just your phone's voice recorder and a reliable online dictionary sound file. For ship versus sheep, for instance, consciously ensure that the sound is clear and distinct from the hes sound. Listen intently to the vowel sound differences, the short day versus the long ISS.
So you're actively comparing and adjusting.
Exactly. This aligns beautifully with the idea of auditory feedback loops, described by Fleege. Hearing your own production compared directly to a target model helps you self-correct and refine your articulation with remarkable efficiency.
So, a scenario. Practice bat versus bat. Say, the bat is on the table. Record yourself, listen back, really focusing on that A versus E sound, and adjust until it sounds clearer.
Perfect. It's precise, targeted practice.
Okay. Habit number 8. Engage in language exchange conversations. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? Using it with real people.
Absolutely. This habit is truly foundational, and it's rooted in sociocultural theory, highlighted by folks like Lantoff.
How does that theory apply?
The science is that conversing with others provides invaluable real-time feedback and dynamic, contextual practice in an interpersonal setting. You can't get that talking to yourself.
Right.
Even short, simple interactions can significantly build your confidence because you're actively using the language to communicate meaning, to negotiate understanding when things aren't clear, and to receive immediate feedback from another human being. It moves you from internal practice to real-world application.
So practically, how do people find partners and what do they talk about?
Commit maybe 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 3 to 4 times a week. Use dedicated online platforms like italki or Tandem. They're great for connecting with native speakers or other learners.
Okay.
Start with simple topics you're comfortable discussing. Things like, I like movies. What kind of movies do you like? Or tell me about your city. What's it like? Keep it low pressure initially. And here's a really smart, targeted strategy. Ask your partner for one specific correction per session. Just yes. It keeps it focused. You might say, could you tell me if I said I am student instead of I'm a student during our chat? This makes the feedback manageable and highly actionable rather than overwhelming.
Good tip. And the advanced tip here.
Be proactive and strategic. Before your session, prepare a little conversation cheat sheet.
Cheat sheet. Like what?
Phrases you anticipate needing, like, can you repeat that, please? Or could you explain what word means? Or how do you say?
Tools to keep the conversation going.
Exactly. Practice these alone first so they come out smoothly, then make sure to actually use them in your real conversations. They're powerful tools. And if both people agree, recording your conversations can be incredibly helpful for reviewing your fluency, your pauses, your word choices later on. Allows for self-assessment.
So an example, on Tandem, you could start with, "Hi, I live in a big city. Do you live in a city too or in the countryside?"
Simple opener.
And then actively listen for feedback. Maybe make a quick mental or physical note of it and immediately try to practice the corrected phrases or new vocabulary in your next self-talk session or journal entry.
That's perfect, integrating the feedback immediately.
Okay, habit number 9. Keep an English voice journal. This sounds like self-talk but recorded.
It's similar, but adds a layer of reflection and tracking. The science behind this relates to Peyton's work back in 1993, which showed that expressive output, especially journaling or verbalizing thoughts, significantly enhances retention
Ah,
by combining active speaking with reflective thinking. It's a powerful way to solidify new vocabulary, integrate grammatical structures you've learned, and develop more coherent thought patterns in English. It provides a structured outlet for those direct English thoughts you're cultivating.
so practically just record yourself talking.
Pretty much. Dedicate about 10 minutes daily. Simply record a voice journal entry using your phone's memo app or a voice recorder. Keep it simple at first. Okay, today I learned some new English words about cooking. It was fun. Or, I ate lunch with my colleagues. The food was delicious. Focus on straightforward sentences initially. The absolutely crucial part is to save your recordings.
Why save them?
This creates a tangible, chronological record of your progress over time. Going back and listening to entries from a few weeks or months ago can be incredibly motivating. You'll hear the improvement, which fuels further effort.
Ah, proof of progress. And the advanced tip.
Once a week, take one of your recent voice recordings and actively transcribe it. Write it down word for word.
Transcribe it. Why?
Then meticulously revise any errors you find while transcribing or reading it back. Change "I go school" to "I go to school." Or maybe rephrase an awkward sentence like "I am happy to do this"
Yeah.
to something more natural like "I'm happy I could do this" or "I enjoyed doing this." You can even take a transcribed portion and share it on platforms like LangCorrect for external feedback from native speakers or experienced learners. This aligns nicely with broader error correction strategies like those Ellis discussed.
Combining output, self-correction, and external feedback.
It's a really powerful combination for refining accuracy and naturalness.
So an example, record yourself saying, "I ate lunch. It's good."
Okay.
Then listen back, maybe transcribe it, and consciously correct any phrasing that sounds unnatural or stiff. Aim for more natural expression like "I had a good lunch" or "the food I ate for lunch was really good." You're building that internal editor.
Exactly. Refining your expression.
Okay, and finally, habit number 10. Set a no translation rule for 20 minutes. This sounds like the ultimate test, forcing your brain to truly swim only in English.
It is. It's a powerful, almost transformative habit. The science, particularly highlighted by Kroll's research in 1993, shows that completely eliminating translation, even for short designated periods, dramatically enhances automaticity and forces direct English processing.
Forces it.
Yeah, it's like throwing your brain into the deep end of the pool. It has to swim using only English. The crutch of your native language is temporarily removed. This direct forcing function accelerates the formation and strengthening of those English-only neural pathways.
Okay, so how do you implement this rule?
Pick a dedicated 20-minute block daily. Choose a time when you're doing routine activities, maybe while walking, doing chores, or even just sitting quietly and observing your surroundings.
And during that 20 minutes?
Commit to thinking and, if possible, speaking only in English. Narrate your observations internally or softly aloud. "I see some green trees. The sky is cloudy today. That bird is flying." Now, here's the critical part. If you encounter a word you don't know,
What do you do? Panic.
no. The rule is simple and vital. Describe it in English instead of translating it or looking it up immediately.
Describe it.
Yes. So if you forget the word car, you consciously think or say "that thing with wheels" or "a vehicle that goes fast on the road." This immediately forces your brain to be creative and flexible within the target language, rather than automatically reverting to translation mode.
Okay, that's clever. And the advanced tip pushes this further.
Exactly. Push yourself. After maybe 2 weeks of consistently practicing the 20-minute rule, try increasing the duration. Go for 30 minutes or even an hour if you feel ready. And actively practice circumlocution, that skill of describing unknown words. Get good at it. So instead of thinking refrigerator, describe it as the cold box for food or the appliance that keeps food fresh.
Why is that skill so important?
Because Lovelt's work on lexical access shows that this skill builds vital lexical flexibility and fluency. It allows you to maintain your English thought stream, keep the conversation flowing, even when specific vocabulary temporarily escapes you. It makes you incredibly resourceful as a communicator.
So, a concrete example. While cooking, consciously think, okay, I need a pan, make sure it's hot, now I'm heating the oil.
Mm-hmm.
And if you momentarily forget the word for spoon, you describe it in English as the thing for eating soup or that utensil for stirring. That way, you never break out of the English thought process.
Precisely. You maintain that seamless flow, that direct thinking.
Wow. Okay, these 10 habits are incredibly practical. What's so compelling, too, is how this plan isn't random. It's structured as a progression, right?
Exactly. It builds foundational skills meticulously before advancing to more complex ones. It creates a truly cumulative learning experience. It's a guided journey.
So it's not just 10 habits thrown together.
That's absolutely right. This 30-day journey is designed to be deeply cumulative. Each week builds directly upon the last, solidifying the habits you've cultivated and stacking new skills right on top of them. You should really feel yourself progressing week by week.
Okay, can you walk us through that weekly roadmap?
Sure. Week 1 is all about laying the foundation. The core focus here will be on habits 1, 3, and 4.
So naming objects, using the English dictionary, and thinking in simple sentences.
Exactly. Your measurable goal for this first week is to actively name at least, say, 50 new objects in English. Internalize maybe 20 new words using that direct dictionary method, and really consistently catch yourself thinking in those simple English sentences like, the table is big or the food is good.
Goal. Ease and automaticity with the basics.
Precisely. Laying those foundational building blocks solidly.
Okay, week 1 done. What's week 2?
Week 2 moves you into building fluency. Here, you'll intently focus on habits 2, 5, and 7.
Self-talk, the inner voice, and pronunciation with minimal pairs.
Right. Your goal now is to be able to fluidly speak to yourself for at least 10 minutes daily, letting thoughts flow more freely, and to master distinguishing and accurately producing at least 10 minimal pairs that are typically tricky for speakers of your native language.
So making internal and basic spoken English more agile.
Exactly. Building that nimbleness.
Got it. Week 3.
Week 3 is dedicated to enhancing comprehension. The key habits now are 6 and 8.
Media immersion and language exchange conversations. Putting it into practice more.
Yes. By the end of this week, your ambitious but achievable goal is to understand at least 70% of, say, a 5-minute authentic English video without using subtitles as a crutch.
Oh.
And to confidently hold short, simple yet spontaneous conversations with a language partner, moving beyond just reciting prepared phrases. You should notice a distinct leap in your ability to follow and participate in real-time English.
Okay, feeling the progress.
And the final week.
And finally, week 4 is about achieving natural thinking. This week integrates the remaining habits, 9 and 10.
The voice journal and that crucial no translation rule.
Right. Your overarching goal for this concluding week is to consistently think in English for 20 minutes daily without consciously translating, and to fluently record your daily voice journal entries, maybe expressing slightly more complex thoughts with greater ease.
This is where it really starts to feel like second nature. Exactly, an effortless extension of your thoughts. What's truly powerful about this detailed roadmap is that consistent, deliberate effort across these 4 weeks will lead to noticeable, measurable, and genuinely profound progress. You'll literally be able to track your brain's transformation from a translation machine to a direct English processor.
That's so motivating. But let's be realistic. No journey like this is perfectly smooth, right? There will be bumps.
Oh, absolutely. No journey to fluency is without its moments of frustration. It's normal.
And our sources anticipate these common challenges and offer solutions.
They do. Crucially, they provide elegant, practical solutions to help you navigate them.
Okay, what's a common one?
One of the most common is reverting to your native language. It just happens.
Why does that happen so easily?
Because your brain naturally defaults to the path of least resistance, the language it's most comfortable and efficient with. It's a deeply ingrained habit.
So how do you fight that default?
It's multi-pronged. First, start incredibly small. Don't try to think complex philosophical thoughts in English immediately. Stick to single words or very short phrases initially.
Okay.
Second, actively use visual cues. We mentioned sticking English labels on common objects around your home. Put a door label on your door on a table. This constantly helps retrain that automatic association away from your native language.
Right, constant reminders.
And third, practice a bit of mindfulness. When you catch yourself reverting, just acknowledge it without judgment. Oops, thinking in native language again. And gently redirect your thoughts back to English. Consistency, not perfection, is the goal. Don't beat yourself up.
Okay, good advice. What's another hurdle?
Another significant one you'll definitely encounter is vocabulary gaps.
I don't know the word, panic.
Exactly. Not knowing a specific word can feel like hitting a mental brick wall. It can completely halt your English thinking process and immediately force you back into translation mode to find the word.
So what's the solution there? Just give up on that thought.
No. The powerful solution here is to enthusiastically embrace circumlocution. We talked about this.
Describing the word.
Yes. If you don't know a word, instead of switching languages or stopping, describe it using the English you do know. If you forget phone, think or say the device for calling people or that rectangular thing I use to send messages.
Okay.
Also, always keep a dedicated notebook or a digital note for new words you encounter. Make it an immediate habit to look them up later in an English-to-English dictionary and then practice describing them yourself. This builds incredible lexical flexibility and resilience. You learn to work around the gaps.
Makes sense. And what about just losing steam, the motivation challenge?
Yes, lack of motivation. It's a perennial challenge for any long-term learning endeavor, isn't it?
Yeah,
Progress can sometimes feel agonizingly slow, and that can lead to discouragement.
definitely. So how do you combat that?
The key solutions here are 1. Actively track your improvements. This provides tangible evidence of your growth, which is hugely motivating.
Like listening back to those voice journals.
Exactly. Go back and re-listen to your recordings from week 1. You'll likely be genuinely amazed at how far you've come in just a few weeks or months. That concrete proof is powerful. Also, crucially, join supportive online communities, places like Reddit's English Learning or other dedicated language learning forums,
Why is community important?
for shared experiences, invaluable tips, and just encouragement from fellow learners who are on the exact same journey, facing the same struggles. Knowing you are absolutely not alone in this makes a huge difference.
That's really important. Okay, so we've got the plan, the habits, the troubleshooting. What about for people who master this? Those who want to push even further?
Great question. Once you've built this incredibly solid foundation of direct English thinking, there are definitely advanced strategies to truly make English your playground, to expand your expressive range and confidence even more.
Like what?
Well, you can implement more sophisticated strategies like role-playing specific scenarios.
Role play.
Yeah. Practice real-world situations you anticipate encountering. Maybe ordering food at a fancy restaurant, handling a job interview in English, or even navigating a potentially difficult conversation with a colleague. For example, internalize a full dialogue for ordering. Yes, I think I'll have the salmon. Could I possibly get that with steamed vegetables instead of potatoes? Thank you.
Preparing for specifics.
Exactly. This builds very practical situational fluency and prepares you mentally and linguistically for those real-world interactions, significantly reducing anxiety when they actually happen.
Smart. What else?
You can also enthusiastically engage in language games. Make it fun.
Language games.
Great interactive games like 20 questions, entirely in English. Okay, is it bigger than a bread box? Is it alive? Is it an animal? Or maybe games like Taboo, where you have to describe a word without using certain common related words.
Oh, I know Taboo. That forces creative description.
Totally. It makes learning fun, spontaneous, and forces quick, natural thinking under a bit of light pressure. It really improves your on-the-spot word retrieval and descriptive abilities. It turns practice into play.
Love that. Any other advanced ideas?
And finally, consider embarking on genuinely creative projects entirely in English.
Creative projects.
For example, record a personal vlog where you talk about your day, your hobbies, maybe review a book you read.
Hi, everyone. I'm learning English, and today I wanted to share my thoughts on this amazing book I just finished.
Putting yourself out there.
Yes. Or try writing short stories in English, maybe some poetry, or even joining an online debate club where English is the sole language of discussion. This boosts your expressive output tremendously, forces you to structure complex thoughts entirely in English, and builds immense confidence in your ability to communicate naturally and creatively in more public settings. It's about really finding and expressing your unique voice through the language.
Wow. Okay, what an incredible deep dive this has been into transforming how you approach English. Seriously.
Fascinating area. From understanding the neuroscientific breakthroughs that explain how our brains can actually rewire themselves, to embracing these daily, really actionable habits, this comprehensive plan truly provides a clear, powerful roadmap to thinking directly and naturally in English.
It really does. This 30-day plan which is meticulously rooted in solid linguistic and cognitive science, genuinely equips you, the learner, to speak without that cumbersome, confidence-sapping translation step getting in the way. By consistently committing to these 10 daily habits, naming objects, talking to yourself, using those English dictionaries, thinking simply at first, developing that inner voice, immersing in media, practicing pronunciation, engaging in conversations, keeping a voice journal, and crucially, embracing that no translation rule.
It's a full toolkit.
It is. You're not just passively learning English. You're actively, intentionally making it your second nature, making it an effortless extension of your true self.
We've talked extensively today about what this plan is and the powerful science behind why it's so effective. But maybe consider this as you, our listener, ponder your own journey. If you truly conquer this habit of thinking directly in English, what surprising new doors might open for you? Doors you haven't even imagined yet.
That's a great question to ponder.
Yeah, beyond just speaking faster or maybe getting better test scores, what deeper, more authentic cultural connections might you forge? What unexpected professional opportunities might truly translation-free communication unlock specifically for your life? What new aspects of yourself might you discover when a global language becomes as natural as your very own thoughts?
So embrace the process. Start today, even small. And remember, every stumble, every small mistake, it's not a failure. It's actually a crucial, invaluable step closer to genuine fluency. We really invite you to begin this transformative journey and discover the vast, rich world that opens up when English truly becomes an effortless extension of your very thoughts.